live. We're back. Hi, friends. Okay, it's snack time. I feel way better today because I actually had all of my meals. I'm not skipping anything else, especially today. Days 2, 3, 4, and 5, we're down to 725 calories. So yeah, it's gonna be rough. So last night, I was planning on eating all of my meals yesterday, but I started to do some work and I felt like doing the dinner. So I had my snack, I had my dinner. I didn't finish all of my dinner, but I had almost everything. But I skipped my lunch salad, my massive salad. So a lot of calories there that I totally skipped out on. Then I was exhausted, went to bed, had epic dreams, like just epic. And I just saw tons of beautiful things in my dreams. Like I was super wowed and I felt a lot of wish fulfillment coming through. So I don't know about you, but I kind of do believe partially like Freud's dream theory that it's all about wish fulfillment. So I was hanging out with friends and we were sitting outside and we were like skipping work or like skipping school or something like that. And then one by one, another friend would show up and then another friend would show up and then another friend would show up. And I would be like pleasantly surprised, like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy you're here. And then it was a big group of us. And then in my dream, I was so tired that I was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to get back into my car and actually drive back to work because I had left the office and then eventually have to make my way back. And then I went to my car and in the back seat was my friend. And she had brought a whole bunch of her stuff over. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I still have to pick up our daughter before the end of the day. How am I going to do this? Like I don't know if I was like drunk or high or I don't know what was up with me, but I like in my dream, I was so exhausted. And so I think in real life, I was just like super just, done. And then when I looked in the back seat and I'm like, oh my gosh, who broke into my car and realized it was my friend. It was sad because she, in my dream, was like, okay, I have to leave my house. Like I have no home. This is why I broke into your car. And I'm like taking a nap in the back seat with all my stuff. And that form of wish fulfillment, this friend, IRL, in real life, let's start with my dream. In my dream, I was super happy to see her. And I was like, that sucks that you got evicted or whatever happened with your home. But I was actually so happy because I was like, problem solved. I don't have to drive because I couldn't. And so she can drive my car and we can pick Elle up and come home. And secondly, I was like, this is great because you're going to come home with me in California and you get to stay with me and I'm going to cook for you and I'm going to show you palm trees and sunshine and we'll hit the beach and get a bunch of therapy in and it will be great. So in real life, I really wish that I could do this for my friend. I don't wish that she would lose her home, of course, but I do wish that I would find her in my car and she can come and hang with us for a while. So it was a beautiful dream. And then I was in a super modern place and it was so inspiring. And then I was taking a walk outside and there was this beautiful park. Like the park was insanely gorgeous. Like it took my breath away. And then on the other side, I saw this massive hotel and I could see the people, like the staff inside, they were setting up these huge bouquets of like flowers and it was gorgeous. So in my dream, I took my phone out. I'm like taking all these photos and I just thought, oh my gosh, this is like my neighborhood park. Why don't I come back here more often? Because it's stunning. And then I woke up and I was hella thirsty. So I did not drink enough yesterday. And I knew that all day yesterday, but I was just being a lazy bum and just spent half the day on the couch. But this morning, so one question I got was, when can I measure my ketones? And that's a great question. And I mentioned yesterday, Longo says that it takes up to 24 to 48 hours for us to burn through all of our glucose stores and then any other kind of stored glucose or glycogen that's stored in our livers. And then we start burning the fat or ketones. So I measured my ketones this morning because some of us will get into ketosis within a day. And I thought, I bet because I didn't have all my calories yesterday, and I woke up very hungry, but like manageable. I measured my ketones. I normally don't start measuring them until day 2, and I'm always in ketosis. But this morning I was at 0.9, and Google says, I think it's 0.6 to 3.0. Whatever the measurement is like something something. Then we're in ketosis. So I actually got into ketosis pretty quickly today, or this round. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that I've noticed that I have been reminded of is I kind of feel like my whole body just kind of lights up and gets hot. So I've not experienced that stage in life yet where I experience hot flashes, even though I am 46, but it feels what I would imagine a hot flash would feel like. So my whole body just kind of lights up and I'm warm. And I often get like this when we're in the fasting state or doing any kind of a reset. I use a scale called Renfo because it measures your body weight, your metabolic age, your visceral fat, your subcutaneous fat, your BMI, and a whole bunch of other stuff, your muscle mass, your protein mass, and all these things. And even though I eat mostly plants, and I know protein is a big issue for people, my protein level is actually quite high, which kind of surprises me because I don't eat a ton of protein, even like plant protein. But protein is good. My bone density is actually a little above average, so that's pretty cool too. Anyway, so I measured my weight. I've gone down 1 whole pound day over day. Woo-hoo. And my visceral fat has not budged yet, but it will. And then my metabolic age went down 1 year. So that's the one that I get the most excited about. I just want to get younger. You know what I'm saying? So I did my body scan. This was the body scan from yesterday. And so I also date it. Make sure that you date it if you are going to do this too, because it's very helpful. So let's go on to our next page and I'll do a body scan. I guess I don't have to do another body scan, but yesterday my ear was raging like the machine. It was so itchy. I had the soreness in my legs, which I love feeling. And today, I've already done my body scan. I don't do it in this huge piece of paper all the time. I have it in my little planner notebook, but we will date it. Today is August 13th. Can you believe it's already August? So my human figure always looks a little bit different. Today, the ear feels very good, but like there's no itch, no bothering of anything at all until I think of something stressful. And then I find myself starting to itch. So it's not super bad, but it's still there. So better. My legs don't hurt at all. So no marks there. But this morning I was just like dry AF. Like I was so parched, but I'm not going to write that down because it was just because I didn't drink enough yesterday. However, I did feel really bloated. So I'll just do that. I'll make some notes, bloated, ear, better. And then I'll also note, depending on what your goals are, if you have a weight loss goal, track your weight. Mine's my metabolic age right now. It's at 45. I'm typically like years younger than my actual age. So the fact that today I'm only a year younger is like a little bit depressing, but not depressing because I know as long as I keep up my good habits, it's just going to keep getting younger and younger and younger. So that's essentially it. Did I have any other? Yeah, I felt weak, bloated, my lower back. I don't have lower back pains, but I felt my lower back, which is interesting because I normally don't feel anything. I like to make notes about my dreams because, like I said yesterday, these psychological breakthroughs really help me just in so many ways. So this time around, at this stage of life, in this season, like what am I going through? Are there any kind of clarifications that I'm looking for in life or about my work or about anything going on? There isn't necessarily like a solution that I'm looking for. It's more, I guess, like the stress of sickness. So there are very sick people in our lives, and it's just, yeah, we are stuck with making like hard decisions, and you know the drill. You know the drill. It's hard, which is why we want to focus on our health. And I may sometimes seem a little bit obsessed with food because I suppose I am, but I think it's a healthy obsession. I'm not obsessed to the point where I can be, but but I think it's good. Anyway, all to say, I was just on a call with my friend. This is not Jesus. She's like, what is on your shirt? This is Keanu Reeves as a dog. I don't understand. I thought it was funny. Anyway, it's snack time. So let's get our snack going. Today, it's blueberries and cashews. So I've washed a bunch of bloobs. This is the sparkling water that I love lately. There's no added sugar. I'm staying more hydrated today. So blueberries, I like to touch every single blueberry and make sure that it's not soggy or gross, because that is really sad when you are limiting your calories so dramatically. So touch every single one. Make sure it's nice and plump and fresh. And we can do 45 grams. Today, measuring my food out, I've been so exact. It's been great. So 45 grams. Oh my gosh, these are going to be so good. So good. I mean, you can even tell I have like more energy today because I can actually speak. Whereas yesterday I could barely get the words out. Okay, 46.2, 44.6. I'm good with that. Let's reset. And then I got these new things at Target. Apparently it's supposed to help keep your produce and your fruit fresher. This blueberry is already nasty. All right, we'll see if that keeps things fresher. And cashews, I get to have 18 grams of cashews. 18.2, I mean, come on, that's insane. Love it. Love it. Okay, so that is our snack. Yes, a weird snack. So there it is. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for today. Tomorrow, I will show you breakfast and answer whatever questions that come up. But there is a question somebody had asked if they could stay in the fasting state for longer than the 5 days. So if they wanted to prolong this, and Longo says, no, don't do this because there are dangers that can come up if you're in ketosis for too long. So I thought that was interesting. But the question came from someone who felt so good mentally and very optimistic. And I like that word because that's how I felt. And I understand because you want to keep that feeling, but you can always do this again and just don't prolong it. 5 days is the cutoff. So we have to cut it off then. Interestingly, I read an article today and it was from a medical school, and they were talking about all the different types of fasting and the benefits, and they compared the different types of fasting. And there's one called the 5-2. So you're eating as healthy as possible during the week for 5 days. And then for 2 days, you fast, or you drop down in your calories dramatically. But this medical school said that the FMD is actually proved to be way more healthful compared to that one. And I would have assumed the opposite because fasting for 2 days is pretty intense. And I would assume that that would, I don't know, kick up many more benefits of fasting. But yeah, I don't know. I was pleased to see that, FMD for the win. Anyway, so I'm going to enjoy my snack. It's 5:10 local time, so this is pretty good timing. Typically, I have my snack at around 3 or 4, and then I'll have my dinner at around 7 or 8, probably closer to 7:30, let's say, and try to get to bed at a decent hour before midnight. During the FMDs or the resets, you might notice if you have sleeping issues that you are sleeping like a baby because, I don't know, you're just feeling good. I had a friend recently who did this, and he has terrible sleeping issues, and he slept so well. And that makes me so happy to hear because I know how painful it is when we don't sleep. I just feel like not like a real human. And so, man, sleep is so important. We got to restore. We need that restorative time every single day. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. Be conscious of every bite that I take. And, they say with mindful eating, you shouldn't be reading anything. You shouldn't watch anything while you eat. I love watching things when I eat, but I'm just going to not do that for just this snack time. And I'm going to sit here, maybe go outside for a minute and enjoy my snack. So I hope you're having a good weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.